I support my brother, Solomon Hill, baby. He was just out there playing defense. It ain't his fault LeBron can't move his feet. It ain't his fault. Now, let's get to it. First of all, I want to say thank you guys. Thank all of you for showing up to the page, for supporting the page, for always bringing all your energy, your respect, your love for the page. So, yes, much love and respect. Now, we've got a major situation here with this whole layout of what LeBron believes things should be and the way things are. Okay? LeBron Ramon James is the actual person who put into the universe about Bronny James as far as playing in the league. Now, we got a logo on it. How you like that, Bulls fans? How you like that, Bulls fans? I had to do it, though. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Good morning. I see a lot of y'all in here. Seen some of you gotten the notifications. Now, yeah, before he said this stupid line right here that got him in trouble. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on Louis Pad. Before he said Bronny could play in this league and help the Lakers right now. Before he said that egregious line, LeBron James, before Bronny even chose and selected, well, no, he was already selected to go to USC. He went and called everybody together after a Lakers game, allowed the media to ask him questions about Bronny James. So, by allowing to have Bronny James come in and be able to ask questions about Bronny James became the essential way to go. Now, anybody said, whoa, wait a minute. I don't get it. So, how in the world is that acceptable? I don't like this song. This sounds like some Lil Yachty. This sounds like I'm romancing the stone. Screw the music. Now, screw the music. Now, let's get to point. Let's get to the level that we need to get to, ladies and gentlemen. Here, yeah, I'm like, man, they got that pro setting, and there's only one good one in there. Everything else is just not good. But anyway, he said produced by unlicensed garbage music. Now, back to this. LeBron invites the media in. And if you don't know how sports media work, it works just like this. Everyone has a target question and target points that they have to get to, like it's the game or certain things that they got to cover, what happened on this play, blah, blah, blah. There's one of the guys in there that is authorized to have a one-on-one, be able to ask LeBron questions. These people are told in advance by whoever the PR person is for the basketball team, whoever works for LeBron. They tell them this question can't be asked. It is omitted. Do not ask it to LeBron. He's not going to do it. And there's certain people there that he works with that they tell, hey, make sure you ask LeBron about this because he wants to talk about it. And we're going to let you have that. So you make sure you're the one that asks it. Okay? All right. We're going to go to you and you ask that question. So they already have these things set up from the interview session before they even go in and start talking. So you'll have the one guy that asks something, somebody that LeBron knows and he's used to. And as soon as they ask him the question, they'll act like it's brand new or he never heard it when he already knows the script and know to start talking. So when somebody brought up about Bronny out of the blue in a Laker game that had nothing to do with anything, nobody in the media ever brought up anything about Bronny. This one reporter was allowed to ask a question about Bronny. And LeBron didn't get upset or nothing. He just started answering the question. Oh, yeah, well, I think Bronny's going to do this and Bronny's going to do that. Bronny's coming along real good, and he'll be back on the court real shortly, I believe. So before Bronny made an announcement or anybody saying he was going back to the court and he's coming back, LeBron was letting the whole world know Bronny James is going back on the basketball court, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what he was letting know that took place. That Bronny James is going back to the basketball court after his cardiac arrest that he suffered earlier that year. He was informing us that was the case. That is what is going to happen here. He's going back. Now, what was the bigger problem? What was the biggest problem in the scenario that you saw and heard? The biggest scenario and problems in the things that you heard is when you go up against someone and you're not prepared, you are always going to fall. You're going to find a way to lose. And to me, LeBron James created this narrative. So now they got a mock draft and they took Bronny's name out of the mock draft and moved him to 2025, saying Bronny's having the type of year you wouldn't put in the draft. You would move him to the mock draft of 2025. So LeBron's upset that a ESPN sports show, okay, comes out there and saying, let the kid be a kid, man. I know they were like, are you kidding? Let him be a kid. We got to cover and talk about him doing NBA broadcasts. He's not even an NBA ball player. You had no complaints about NBA Today talking about Bronny. You had no complaints that everybody was saying Bronny's name. You had no complaints. You wouldn't let Bronny be a kid. It's his decision. None of this was on the table for you, LeBron. You are such a narcissist. It's always about you. You was the one dunking in your son's layup line in high school. And everybody was like, why don't you sit the F down? It's you had your moment. Okay? It's his moments. These are his moments. He only got 4 years of high school. Let him have his moments. You hijacked his moments. That's what you did. You hijacked it. All in the videos, dancing. You made it all about you. Bronny and Bryce on the cover, like father, like sons. You sitting over there on the cover with both your boys. You put and applied more pressure on these kids than anybody ever did. You never saw Michael Jordan do that to his sons. And people say, well, his sons ain't like, well, Mike's sons, Mike's sons couldn't play. Marcus, all of his numbers, rebound, points, assists, better than Bronny's right now. And I'm not comparing. I'm just saying to that argument that an idiot made. I don't think it's been fair to Bronny. What's up, Magnus? It's never too early. Get it early, never late. I got to go kick some ass today, so I got to get me some gloves. I'm finna go up here and see what they doing because they giving me the runaround, and I don't like getting the runaround. Now, no. So the media should be like, okay, we won't talk about Bronny no more. How about that? That's what they should tell LeBron. It's like, well, okay, well, if you're not happy, then we won't talk about his ass at all. LeBron was like, man, the mock draft don't mean nothing. He's right. Let me tell y'all something that what LeBron James said, and that whole thing is absolutely correct. A mock draft means absolutely nothing. The only thing is it gives you a clue or an idea to what teams might be doing. All of that changes when someone gets drafted out of the position in order that you thought. Everyone else adjusts to the draft pick. So a mock draft don't mean anything. Right? We've seen players go to teams and then get traded. Nobody saw Vince Carter going to the Toronto Raptors because he was drafted. He was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. A lot of people don't know that. Vince Carter was drafted by the Golden State Warriors, and they traded him. Isaiah Thomas made the trade and brought in, who was that? Who did Isaiah bring in? I think Isaiah made the trade and brought in, or was he even there? But I know they wanted Antoine Jameson. So they did a trade for Antoine Jameson for Vince Carter. But there's a whole story behind that. And we're going to get to it. Because it torpedoed the team. Yeah, LeBron ain't complained. Exactly. Good question. I mean, good statement. We haven't heard LeBron complaining of the Lakers. We ain't heard him complaining about USC being shown on ESPN, ABC. And USC basketball hasn't been relevant since Swaggy P. That was like 2005. They right. Boogie can hoop. But I'm going to tell you right now, they soft. USC is soft. And plus, Bronny was never in their program. Like, he was never who they scouted to bring to their team to say, okay, here you go, kid, you're going to run our team. No, they already had their recruits. They already had their recruitment list. Bronny got pushed. He was supposed to go to UCLA. That got scratched. And he had to go to USC at the last minute. So then they come in and it's like, oh, we got a spot for Bronny. Bronny is used to get the team on TV and bring money to USC, and that's the only reason he's there. Now, they're going to say they're not teaching this kid anything. Why wouldn't he go to UCLA where he could learn real basketball? Bronney is learning the game, and he's playing it as well as he can. He's trying to learn the game. He came from high school. He played mostly in tournaments and played against other suburbanized schools. But they weren't the best school when he played. But people got to understand something. They're going to jump the shark with Bronny because he's LeBron's son, no matter what his name is. Everybody's like, man, that's why he changed his name. Your name could be doo-doo dumb snot. As long as you got James at the end of it, LeBron James is your father, you're going to be compared to him. That's it. So you playing in the same sport as your father. So if you didn't want to be compared to your father, you should have became an accountant. Okay? Now, pick up a book and actually read it. Then they would never compare to your father. Like, man, Bronny finished a book. He's better than Bron. Yeah. Right. They ain't gonna never compare you to your father then. But you're like 6 feet tall. Okay? They say you 6'1", but you're really 6 feet tall. So you're 6 foot. You're undersized, 6 foot guard. In a league where everybody's 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", like you're going up against big guards and you're going to be trying to compete at NBA level. You're going to have to basically, your body and your game is going to have to mature and go to another level. I personally think he should stay in college at least 3 years, if not 4. All of this Bronny's coming out in the first year is all because LeBron's the one that put the pressure, talking about some, I ain't gonna play, I'm gonna play with my son. Then he's saying, sons, I'm gonna play with both my sons. I'm gonna make history. So the NBA go and extend the broadcast of the game, knowing that Bronny is leaving after the first year. If anybody think Bronny James is not leaving after the first year, it's a mistake. Unless he feels the lack of confidence after this season to go to the NBA. Bronny's going to the league after this season. Now, here's the deal. Bronny James is going because they extended the broadcast. They had no reason to air the second round whatsoever. But they're doing it because Bronny's coming out. And everybody can see it now. I mean, as soon as they said it, I knew what was up. As soon as they said it, I knew what the drop was. Now, it's finna get even more spooky. Now, here's the news. The Lakers are going to draft him no matter what. The Lakers are taking him in the second round no matter what. They're going to have to explain how they took a player who averaged 5 points. They're going to be like, this guy averaged 5 points a game. He had 2 rebounds and 3 assists in 40 minutes. How do you explain drafting Bronny James? They're going to say, well, the tape don't tell you the whole story. The numbers don't tell you the whole story. There's a lot of intangible things he did. We saw a lot of stuff that we could use. The way he set picks and move around. We need players like that. It's dismal. It's a lie. It is all a fallacy. You see, they think the world is stupid. They think all of you are dumb. They said, man, these people dumb. They don't know what's going on. Why are we wasting our time with dumb people? Why are we wasting our time trying to give them something real? Just keep giving them fake stuff. They'll eventually get over it. They don't care about what you know, what you think you know. They just don't care. Bronny James, Bryce has gotten no hype. Bryce has gotten no attention. Bryce has been set to the side and able to play his career of basketball just being Bryce. And he might have a better career. Oh, absolutely. He might have an extraordinary career, one that's light years better. Yeah, might be light years better than Bronny because he actually has the height and he's still growing. So he might finish out at 6'8". Right. He might finish out at 6'8", 6'9". So if he finishes out at 6'8", 6'9", then you'll see a difference, you know? Other people will figure that out for themselves. You know, I say that to people all the time. Like, y'all got to understand something. When you see the things like I see it, you'll start to get it a lot better. LeBron James doesn't care about anything except for his own ego. He masks it as if he masks it like he cared. Yeah, well, when you go as hard as everyone else around you, you started to see another side of who you are. You start to see that there's another level you could get to. You start to say to yourself in your own brain, maybe, just maybe, this might not be for me. Notice all of this talk about Bronny. Not one of them have talked about Kevin Garnett and what he said about Balco. Now, what he was saying, he just said Balco And everybody starts saying that's what LeBron is on. That's not true. That's not what he said. You know, that's the mistake that a lot of us are making. It's not what he said. He was just saying Balco in reference because he remembers the Victor Conte Balco scandal. And the Balco scandal took down a lot of people. As Victor Conte rolled over on his clients and Marion Jones stripped of all her medals, they took out money, damn near everything. She can't do nothing with Olympics again. And they just left her out to dry. Shane Mosley had to testify, and they played the tape. He testified, yeah, he took it. So all these people testified that they took them stuff and all this left and right, right? You had Chael Sonnen, a former MMA fighter, and credible as can be, right? This isn't some blogger. This isn't somebody that you don't know. This is a situation now in which you know LeBron James is being put in a situation that did not benefit anybody, right? He has to stay in the game no matter what. So if they want to trank that horse, give him a tranquilizer boost, give him an enema, steroid enema, he's going to be running out there on the court. But see, here's the thing. The human body can only take so much. And as you get older, no matter what your body look like, you're older. So it ain't going to hit the same as it did if when you was 20. You see how Shannon Sharp look? Shannon Sharp throwing up 8 plates. Right? But here's the thing about Shannon Sharp. Okay? Here's the thing about Shannon Sharp. He knows I can't hit nobody like that no more. If I was on the court field, I hit somebody, my body gonna be sore, my bones and joints, they gonna ache. His recovery for whatever altercation he gets in is gonna take a lot longer. Because at this age, your body is not supposed to be in these physical contacts. The older you get, the more feeble the body becomes. You could be standing like this and fall to the ground. Boom. When you're older, that's detrimental to your health. One fall is what doing you. But when you're young, you trip and fall, you laugh. Get up. Woo, dust yourself off, and you bouncing. Woo! Right, no problem. Now, before anybody can say anything, people don't get and understand the next level of success. See, the levels of success is going to take you and make you take things and do things that's not even on the board. So when he went through this situation, this is why I said I don't feel no sorrow for LeBron over Bronny. I left him out of the equation because I have not fully exonerated him in this situation that happened with Bronny. My heart went out to the rest of the family. Savannah, the kids, the cousins, the mama, all them. My heart went out to them. And the reason my heart went out to them is because of the simple fact LeBron is the one that was pushing this kid. This is a guy, LeBron James, who takes shortcuts and so-called supplements, right? So we don't know if he's been pushing Bronny to do the same things because he was too young to have something like that happen to not be listed for having that condition. Now, when other people started to see the scenarios, they start seeing situations, they start seeing right. They start seeing these situations. You know what they do. Absolutely not. It's not hating at an all-time level. What it is giving you a full glance of everything in your surroundings. Right? When you think about the Los Angeles Lakers, what do you think about? You're thinking about LeBron James and the failures. You're thinking this team don't have a shot. How he doesn't age. He has been old since 2018. And they just keep running him and running him and running him. And now he's out of gas. He can't finish games. So when you start to look at it, you watch the game and actually play, LeBron is trying to pick his spots in which he can be effective. Scoring is up to an all-time level. Guys are averaging 113 points a game. Scoring is so out of control. The NBA just announced yesterday that they're going to review the rules to see, because they think they've made the game too offensive friendly. And I'm going to tell you why. And who was complaining about this? LeBron James. See, we're going to get into all this, buddy. Oh, yeah. That's the tale for another day. The Patreon might get that one first. But you don't understand why LeBron is into that conversation and what he's hoping to achieve. Now, no. When I say people don't understand which one to pick, or like saying, okay, what's the real problem here? All right, testosterone. There's nothing with using medicine to recover faster, especially if you're being monitored by a doctor. Well, my thing is this, buddy. When does it become medicine and when does it become cheating? LeBron is doing all he can. Scoring is up. Everybody's scoring is up. Okay, scoring is up at an all-time record high. LeBron is averaging 24 points a game. So what would he average if they didn't raise scoring? You see what I'm saying? Where would he be if they didn't raise the scoring? See, y'all love to make the excuses for LeBron, but y'all don't realize the truth, the realization. These are all facts. LeBron is not coming up big in the clutch. You're tying your boat to a guy that is 34 and broken down. He's not 34 who got something he can go fall back on. He's saying, okay, I can't do this no more, so I can fall back and do this. This is why Bernard Hopkins has such a long career. Bernard Hopkins had basic boxing one-on-one. Roy Jones never had that. That's why Roy Jones, in the latter of his careers, couldn't be as successful because his fighting style was mostly all reflexes. He was in a rhythm. He was doing so much uncharacteristic things in the ring, it didn't even make sense. It made zero sense. You start seeing things that he was doing and was like, that don't make no sense. RJ was getting off 4-5 punches with in one setting, and then he's talking crap, and they couldn't. When he was rapping, doing rap songs, and beat you up while he rapping. Man, I tell you, man, they don't want none of the RJ. They don't want me to bring that RJ out. Now I told you, everybody in Pensacola, we in the house. I bring that RJ out. They're in trouble. They don't want me to bring that RJ out. Yeah, well, it's like force of habit. You know, you want to make sure you're on point. Mm-hmm. He says pro sports, they're giving out $300 million contracts now. Yeah, and baseball. See, baseball, your money, all that is fully guaranteed. Right? Baseball got the best contract for players. Everyone think basketball is. Jaylen Brown just signed a $300 million contract. Everybody know them boasters are juice heads. That's why they always injured. See, LeBron tries to use all this modern technology to get his body back in shape, right? And all this science, and this is what's going to keep you in the game longer. So the products that he's using is keeping him on the court, keeping him. But here's the thing: it's not going to help him recover quicker. Everyone thinks it is, but you think you recover quicker, you think you're the same, but you're not the same anymore. You're not the same player. LeBron is not as fast as these guys. His leg movement is slower. And he already had bad leg movements. He used to have a quick first step because he was all athleticism. His athleticism is gone. Now he got bursts where you see one burst from LeBron. He can't keep up with today's game. Today's game got too many up and downs, up and downs, up and downs, up and downs, up and downs. Everybody's sprinting. He can't keep up. You're not going to be able to keep up with 19 and 20-year-olds. You're more physical, stronger than them, so you can be able to bully them, but not the good teams. Guys there, you can't just bully over them. Then he saw my video and gonna respond to it, talking about the free throws. Man, the Lakers didn't shoot a free throw. I'm like, I wish I would entertain for a half a second a conversation about the Lakers not getting free throws. I don't care if they had a whole game, they didn't shoot one of them. I'll be justice. You got about 55 more to go. When you shot over 500 more free throws than any team in the NBA, you're going to have a problem with me. And then hold a press conference to make that the theme of the whole thing is y'all not shooting any free throws. I wish I was on everybody who had a show and had a take. I'd have been ready to slap people. I've been like, that's just not fair. I'm like, do you say it's not fair when they're shooting 40 free throws and the other team is shooting 10 and the other team was attacking the basket more than them? See, this is the lie LeBron tried to say. Everybody come up with this fake narrative that the Lakers shoot all these free throws more than other teams. We just not, we just don't shoot a lot of threes. We're not that gifted. Lie, 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 and lie again. That's all he does. Love to lie. Oh, yeah. He love to talk about a free throw. I don't want to misquote him. Okay? I don't want to misquote LeBron. So let's let LeBron tell you in LeBron's own words. Y'all can't hear that, can you? Don't worry, I'll fix it.
As you guys try to sweat out.
Yeah, super slow start for us, offensively and defensively. You give a team 45 points in the quarter, you're playing uphill battle, especially if you're not scoring 45 as well. So I thought from that point on, we played some really good basketball, but their role players did a great job shooting the ball. Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen, those boys, they shot the heck out of the ball tonight. And Nurk had a monster 20 game pretty much. We did a pretty good job on their superstars, but that's what good teams do. The other guys step up anytime. Sometimes the stars are, I won't say struggling because those guys didn't struggle, but it wasn't like the monster games that we accustomed to seeing from KD and Book, but a good game for them.
You mentioned 6 threes apiece for Allen and O'Neal. I guess that's got to be part of the game plan if you're going to show attention to Booker and KD. Is it tough to shift that when those guys are just knocking it down consistently?
I mean, they shot the ball well. Obviously, for Grayson, we know that, for the majority of the season, I don't know if he's still there, but he's one of those 90, 50, 40 guys. So you don't really want to just let him shoot. He's going to shoot the ball like that all year long. And, Roy, since he got here, hasn't shot the ball particularly well, but today he did. So, it's always difficult when you're playing with two when you're playing against two guys that just attract so much, defensively when they have the ball in their hands with Katie and Book that. A lot of guys get good looks and they was able to knock them down.
LeBron, you guys shot 8 free throws as a team as the season low. Did you feel like you guys were attacking the way that you normally do? Threes were up a little bit, but did you feel like tough whistle tonight? I mean, it looked like you felt like it was a tough whistle.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that something? I mean, that's a big part of what you guys do is get to the line. That's part of
that's who we are. So, but a lot of people, just a lot of coaches, a lot of teams are like, that's all the Lakers do is get to the free throw line. There's like this narrative out there that that's all we do is get to the free throw line. I mean, we have attackers. That's what we do. We have attackers. Yeah, we shoot the ball from the perimeter, but we're not shooting 40, 50 threes a game. We're not that team. We don't have the luxury of being that team. So, we're into the paint. That's what we're really good at. So, to have 8 free throw attempts is definitely not us.
Now, this man said that they are a team. They are a team that attacks the basket. That's why they get foul calls. No, you attack the basket because that's what you want to do. Get to the free throw line. You just go in there all wild, offensive fouling people so you could get to the free throw line because that's the only way your dumb ass can score. LeBron always looked like he drunk. What did you mean? You paused it when LeBron looked like he drunk. He drunk every day. He's drinking coming to the game. He finna drink right after the game. He's a drunk. That's what happened to his skill set. You keep throwing that monkey oil in your system and don't think it have an effect, and you don't see it. Your speech is more slurred now. Looking like a straight alkie. Yeah. So you look at him. He finna get liquored up at the end of the game. And now he's probably at the point he don't really even get drunk or buzz no more. It's just a night out. It's just a regular night out for him. He'd be like, man, what today is, Wednesday? Oh, time to drink. What today is? Thursday? Oh, time to drink. Oh, it's Sunday. It's in the middle of the game. Oh, man, it's time to drink. Man, I can't think without a drink. That's what they call me, Lebron. Yeah, the king. Yep. I ain't never made a drink I ain't like. But, when you first start drinking when you're young, you got to keep drinking. You got to drink a whole lot of stuff till you find your drink. Because I used to drink all dog.
Nah, I drink light. I don't really drink dark no more, unless you got some. There's no liquor here, LeBron. Oh, that's a shame. Good thing I brought my own. Yeah. No, we got it. So LeBron James is always going to put you in that narrative. Now, he's saying the Lakers don't shoot a lot of threes. Are you out your damn mind? Y'all shoot too many threes as it is. Y'all not a team that attacks the basket and make y'all live and go into the hoop. AD don't want to go to the hoop at all. None of them. None of them hold any weight. No one cares about any of this stuff. When it's all said and done, where they gonna be? I mean, really, y'all. If we talk about the legacy of LeBron, come on, really? Are we doing that? Are we really talking about doing that right now? Keep LeBron James away from the GOAT conversation. You can never have lost your confidence on a basketball court and can be considered greatest of all time. This man has lost his confidence in NBA finals. To go to the finals as many times as he did with all the advantages he had, he has come up short. He called himself the greatest player of all time on his own show. When you're great, that's for other people to say about you, not for you to say about yourself. You're trying to convince yourself you're the greatest of all time when you're not. Facts. That's the hard truth, and no one else can get around that. That is the figure 4 leg lock right there. That is the figure 4 leg lock. Am I still hating on Bron? Why do you consider it hate? That's the question you should ask yourself. Why would you consider that hate? When he retires, Skip gonna fry him about these drugs. No, see, here's the thing. It ain't even about him retiring. They're going to bring it up years down the road, how they covered it up. You think the NBA is going to expose LeBron James? It's not going to happen. They're never going to tell you anything negative about LeBron as far as him cheating. When he
had tested positive for COVID. Did you notice all the people got tested positive for COVID except for LeBron James? He was immune to COVID. Steph Curry could get it and kick it off. Everybody could get kicked off, kick it off, and everything. But nope, not LeBron James. He tested positive. He said, nope, that's fake. Nah, not me. Nah, I ain't went nowhere. I've been in the house. Well, LeBron, it said you tested positive. Nope, y'all had to retest it. Then they were like, oh, we retested LeBron. But everybody else had to miss a mandatory 2 weeks. Remember that? So you can have a false positive or everything. They didn't even know. And you out 2 weeks. And they were like, hey, wait a minute. So LeBron told a lie in this whole interview. That's what he did. Because that's what he do. Lie. And you guys are living in this fantasy like it's 2012. This ain't 2012 LeBron. Okay? This is a whole different LeBron. This is 12 years later, what he looked like in 2012. And don't tell me it's year 21. We know it's year 21 to the fifth power. This is why players don't play this long. We know we don't expect him to be LeBron of 2012. I don't. Y'all hold him to the standards. Like, look at him. He's still able to do this. They put him in a position to do that. If the rules were the same, there's no way he would be able to perform the way he's performed. Kobe Bryant would shut LeBron down. Period. Shut him down. They've come up with every tactic to try to fool people to believe LeBron James is that guy. LeBron is the one. LeBron is the main guy. LeBron James is not even close. So when I made my take about LeBron not being top 20, top 30, top 45, he shouldn't be in the conversation. These are facts. He should not be involved in the conversation. Thank you. Believe it or not, everybody's having a record year. You've seen two teammates score 40 points in a game. You've seen damn near 3 people have a triple-double on the game.
that's on the same team. It has become an arcade league. And LeBron James can't even get a triple-double. People are passing him up in triple-doubles already. That ain't played before 5 years. They're catching up to LeBron James in triple-doubles. So if he was this point forward that they make him, and try to claim he is, why he don't have the rebounds, the assists, and points? Why do Russ got more than him? Russ is a point guard. LeBron had the ball at the point of attack more than Russell Westbrook. He had the highest on-ball percentage of any player in the league. He leads the NBA right now in transition points. That's what LeBron does. How many 70-point games do we see here? Tons, right? '60s, '70s. In the last 2 years, it's been crazy. But the league need it. Because now that they got legal sports betting and sports betting controlling everything, this has been the narrative. So let's get to the Bronny situation. Bronny's going to get drafted in the second round by the Los Angeles Lakers. Bronny is going to score a lot more points than he scored when he was with USC. They're going to carry Bronny. They're going to magnet ball a lot of his shots. They're going to put him on the free throw line. They're going to protect Bronny as much as they can and make money off of his name. LeBron is top 10 in every statistical category. Where's Russell at? When you start and you're the face of the league and they're protecting you, you're going to be in top 10. Eventually, if you play 21 years, you're going to eventually be there. But look at all the people in those categories. Where do you see anybody? Did anybody say, man, Michael Jordan is top 5 in all these categories? A lot of people tell you Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever play the game. They don't care where he ended up on the list. They don't know where he had in rebounds, where he had in assists, where he had in points. Didn't matter. When he played, he was the best player there was when they talk about Michael Jordan. When Kobe Bryant was playing and people said Kobe, they didn't care where he was ranked with the points. Stats didn't have to validate him. He validated him. His game represented and validated him. The way others speak about him, that validated it. Bill Russell, when they talk about him, when they talk about Wilt, when they talk about all the greats, they're not talking about where their points are. Only LeBron fans speak in points and stats. We deal with facts over stats. MJ played in a primitive era of hoops. Wow. When you see all of the top players in the NBA history, all the greats, in NBA history. No. Most of the people don't understand one thing about LeBron is that when you start going down the road of dealing with LeBron and what he is, and thank you, I did get the super chat. I mean, the cash out. Super chat works. We appreciate all y'all. Burger King James. Those are people who saying those statements are people that were born outside of the LeBron dominance. I mean the Jordan dominance. They weren't even born in that time. They're probably a 2000s baby. We have the footage. Nope, you're watching highlights of somebody showing you somebody miss. I can make a highlight reel of all the greatest players of all time missing shots. That's not watching the games, sir. You have to watch the games. Can't watch no highlight on Instagram and listen to an idiot. Man, look how this is. Man, the 80s suck. I mean, I don't, everybody was trying to do things for attention. They keep hating on this, man. All the great players are from this era. Those players they would be destroyed by all those guys in the 80s and 90s. And you'd be like, man, how this guy doing that? How that white guy gonna guard LeBron? I'm like, so you telling me Mark Price and Craig Elo Jordan, he had a little white guy named Craig Elo on him. He should have 55. Meanwhile, they got slower white guys on the court now, right? They say Lambeer couldn't play in today's era. A former NBA player said that Lambeer couldn't play in this era with LeBron. He would be out the league. But Joker can play in this league. How fast is he? How fast is Luka Doncic? How fast are these dudes? So all these white European players are just the fastest guys in the world. They got to make it make sense. Nobody really cares. All they care about is their own self-preservation. Everybody want to be right. There's nothing stopping the 80s players from playing in today's era. Because one, they had to have skills. You couldn't even be on that court and not have skills. Dave Cowens would destroy half the guys in this league. He'll be averaging a double-double every night because he could score. He would look like Joker. He would look like the Joker. Those guys knew how to play defense. The game was taught. They were taught as youngins. When they went to AAU camps and all pro-am basketball camps, you had to know how to play basketball. Do you know why? Because they practiced. They practiced so much back then. They don't hardly ever practice now. Even at the pro level, they don't practice. The Lakers hardly ever practice. This is why Isaiah Thomas the third, no, not him, Isaiah Thomas from the Boston Celtics, who went to play with the Cavs, they don't understand that he was coming off a hip surgery. He's trying to get himself back into a situation where he'll be back and ready to go. But no. All those guys had skills. They weren't just big guys walking around. Antoine Carr, Xavier McDaniels, all those guys will be busting you guys up. All these guys y'all talking about, the superstars of the 80s, you wouldn't get past the bench players. You wouldn't get past Orlando Woodridge. You wouldn't get past none of these guys. Cliff Levingston will be dogging you out, averaging 18 rebounds a game and 15 points. Easy. Now look at everybody today. No footwork, no fundamentals, and they playing in the pros. Half these guys in the pros don't even know how to play. They don't even know the game. Bronny right now is trying to really learn the game, and I see him trying. So I can never fault Bronny James. I'm not going to hate on Bronny. For what? This is a kid trying to learn the game. So why would anybody be mad at Bronny? I don't blame Bronny for any of this. I just pray his health holds up, and all this him going to the NBA and all that stuff, that don't even matter to me. Like, Bronny don't have to go to the NBA to survive, to take care of his family. His family's already loaded. He's coming from a whole different era. He's former basketball royalties, father's LeBron James. So he could do something else. He don't have to follow in the footsteps of his father. Now, if he wanted to do it because he loved the game, that's fine. But he doesn't have to play basketball. So saying like, oh, man, this is what he did. He needs to do this. Man, he needs to go. Man, this is what Bronny needs, and this is for Bronny. Bronny needs this. I'm like, we got to get him that. Bronny, do you think Bronny didn't have the absolute best people working with him? Former NBA players, former coaches, Hall of Fame. All of that sounds great, doesn't it? All of it sounds spectacular. It sounds wonderful. But here's the problem. You can have all that help, but it's all on the individual. Bronny is a nice kid. He don't have the makeup it takes to be at that level. He don't have that inner beast in him to come out and be a dog. You got to dog people. You got to have a mentality on that court, or other people will see your weakness and basically punk you out and make you feel very unsure of yourself. It's a testosterone-driven league. And he said, Bronny is the worst McDonald's All-American. Here's the thing. Bronny was never going to be an McDonald's All-American. He only got there because somebody else was hurt. So they put him in the game. So he wasn't even a McDonald's All-American, really. But it's good to have that on your stature. You know, it doesn't mean anything really now these days. The true players who could ball, that have natural ball playing ability, you know. He says, Cena, what's up? You got to stop saying Zeke was better than Jordan, but you my dude. Why would I stop saying the truth? Isaiah Lord Thomas III was a better ball player than Michael Jordan. I give you the reasons. I give you everything to go with it. Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan. Y'all really put Michael Jordan on a pedestal that y'all don't really understand. Michael Jordan is a phenomenal offensive talent. Okay? A phenomenal offensive juggernaut. Trying to stop him took the entire team to control. His athleticism, his speed, his ability. But in the 80s, in that time, he was like more athleticism. He had skill, but it was mostly built off of his athleticism. His weaknesses would be exploited by Isaiah, who had no weaknesses. None. Isaiah was the best player in high school. He was the most valuable player in college, cutting down April 6th, cutting down the net, 1981. From the Indiana Hoosiers, most valuable player. He was the most valuable player on the playgrounds. See, y'all don't even understand what that was like. Playground games had all NBA players. All the guys you knew that were going to the league. Chicago had them all. We had Doc Rivers. We had Mo Cheeks. You had Eddie Johnson. You had Terry Cummins. You had Mark Aguirre. You had all these guys on a 5-on-5. Doc Rivers used to go up against Isaiah all the time. Doc Rivers would have his 5. Isaiah would grab 5 guys he never even knew a day in his life, and they would be playing a game. It'd be packed. People were looking and watching those games because they were going to town, balling. And those games were better than the NBA games. So everybody knew these guys are the truth. Isaiah could take an average player and make him better. A player that can only score 2 points a game, play with Isaiah, he scored in 15. You see the Detroit Pistons, that team cannot perform without Isaiah at the helm. He took a whole bunch of team players that nobody wanted a piece of. Right? and turned that and flipped it around and turned it into a dynasty. He did that. That's right. Hit the like button, good people. I know y'all just got here. Well, when people figure out where it is that they want to go, they try to get there as quickly as possible. There's players that was better than Michael Jordan. A lot of y'all think Jordan would have beat Wilt Chamberlain one-on-one. And they both in their prime. Ain't no way Michael Jordan beating Wilt Chamberlain in basketball one-on-one. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you that right now. It's not going to happen. Would never happen. Jordan would not beat him. He wouldn't get around him. He was like, oh, I'm going to use my athleticism. As soon as he think he around Wilt, and he go up for a shot. Block! You see, here's the thing about Wilt Chamberlain. This guy used to jump hurdles, high jump, distance run. He ran track. He played volleyball. He was everywhere. He did everything. He wasn't your average 7-foot guy. He was a freak of nature. Bill Russell, same thing. Wilt, that's what I'm saying. Back then, he wasn't the only one that could do that. You had basketball skills, they used to could throw sky hooks and score. That's how Magic Johnson used to score. Magic wasn't a jump shooter. Magic could throw sky hooks, boom. And he was a scorer. But they play at such a high level and knowledge of the game that other people can't really fathom. The reason why Wilt gets overlooked in the debates is because Wilt Chamberlain is a cheat code. Like, Wilt Chamberlain is really, he's at the top. You can't even rank Wilt. That's how dominant Wilt was as a player. It's like he only won 2 championships his whole career. Why he only won 2? They played against a team that were better than them. You know, they were always going up against the Celtics and getting crushed. Len Bias was the only player I seen better than Jordan. Len Bias wasn't going to be better than Jordan. It's hard to say at the college level what they were going to be, but he was like David Robinson. You know, he was more like David Robinson, and David Robinson wasn't better than Jordan. So, but I think he would have been an all-star. He probably would have been an exceptional player. A lot of people didn't like David Robinson. David Robinson got drafted, to play with the Spurs, but he couldn't until he finished his Navy
everything he was doing in Navy. So they had to wait two years to get David Robinson. It's just like when they drafted Tony Kukoc, they had to wait a couple of years so they can get Tony on the team. He had to get through playing his European contract out and get all his visa stuff together. Then, he was able to go and do his thing. See, and this is why the damage of documentaries ruin people's brains. Isaiah Thomas, all he could do is foul. Are you kidding me? Isaiah Thomas was so good. He was better than Magic. He was better than Bird. He was better than all these guys. But they had a hard time explaining that to people, how a 6-foot guard could do something nobody else in the history of the game could do. A 6-foot guard led a team and was the star driving force of that team. That was it. Nobody but him led team to NBA championships. Nobody but him. Because it don't happen. You haven't seen it again since Steph Curry. So how many years ago that's been? If you say Bob Cousy, you get punched in the mouth. Bob Cousy didn't lead the team to the championship. It was Bill Russell. The game was built around the centers. You can't tell me about the game I love, man. Oh, yeah. See, you got to know that. You got to know your history. You got to know all of these details. It matters. All of it matters. Isaiah was smarter than Michael. He was a smarter basketball player. He was the president of the Players Union. He's the first NBA player on the cover of Forbes. He's the only NBA player that's held every major position as former owner, the first owner of a basketball team as a player with the Toronto Raptors. He was the president and owner. Damon Stoudemire was the rookie of the year when everybody wanted him to draft Ed O'Bannon from UCLA. They just won a national championship. But Isaiah Thomas knew what I knew. Ed O'Bannon can't play in the NBA. He is not what we need. He's fool's gold. And no, that's not what we need. This Damon Stoudemire, he's a game changer. Everybody booed it in Toronto. But what do they know about basketball, right? So he drafts him as a rookie. And what happens? Rookie of the year. Introduced the NBA to the drop step. And was tearing them up. D-Stott was a monster. But they always talk about him in a negative because he went against Michael Jordan. You see? Look at what they do to Steph. They talk about Steph in a negative and the whole Golden State Warriors because why? They're the nemesis to LeBron James. They're standing in LeBron's way. For greatness, LeBron needs to be great. He can't be great if these guys is in his way. How great can LeBron be?
Carmelo Anthony, who was rookie of the month every month his rookie year. The team he was on got to the NBA playoffs. LeBron couldn't even get to the playoffs until his fourth season. Carmelo was in the playoffs his rookie year. And he didn't get rookie of the year. So what that tell you? They didn't even share the award like they did with Grant Hill and Jason Kidd. Well, the NBA wants to team up Luka Doncic and Joker. They want them on the team. They know both respected teams don't want to make Denver don't want to lose the Joker. Dallas don't want to lose Luka. And then you got Jamal Murray in the mix. Something's going to happen. They'll put Luka and the Joker together, and then they'll start winning championships again. Watch what happens. This whole league is built on this kind of crap. You got to pay attention to signs. They promote them like they teammates. Zeke holds no records. Yet, he's the only player to score 19 points in like 90 seconds. Right? It's still a record to this day. He has the finals record. Nobody's had the highest three-point shooting percentage in the NBA finals than Isaiah Thomas, who shot like almost 80-some% from three through the whole 5-game series. First guy to lead a team to an NBA championship. Played his whole career with one team. First little man to ever lead them to the championship. They actually call him the greatest little man to ever play the game because there's nothing else they could really say about Isaiah Thomas. They can't say he's the best because he's not 6'6". If he was 6'6", you wouldn't even know about Michael Jordan. Let's just say that right now. You wouldn't even think about Michael Jordan. If Isaiah Thomas was 6'6", it's over. That's how good he was. Could score with the left hand. Greatest ball handler in the game. Pure shooter. A bona fide scorer. Mm-hmm. The 1989 Detroit Pistons is the greatest basketball team ever assembled. We invented the game. We reinvented basketball. The game y'all playing now is the game we invented. High pick and roll, stretch five. Y'all never had a stretch five before. We're the first stretch five. Bill Laimbeer popping out for threes and getting you 15, 20 rebounds. Yep. The 86 Celtics. We had that team whooped. 86 Celtics is up there. You got the 87, you got the 87 Lakers, the whole nine, right? Well, society always have their favorites. They say, you said it yourself. Look at Jordan's first three chips. That team versus Thomas Pistons and Jordan's one more chips. Come on now. Thomas had an all-star team. No, Isaiah Thomas didn't have an all-star team. They played like an all-star with Isaiah Thomas. He knew how to get the best out of these guys. Dennis Rodman was a gem found. No one would have drafted him. No one was looking to draft him. He didn't play at a big university, nothing. Jack McCloskey saw something in him and gave him an opportunity. Joe Dumars was a quiet basketball player, very underrated right now. He was always the quiet man. Now he's president of basketball operations. He never had a technical foul his entire playing career. Multi-year all-star at McNeese State. Now, nobody saw that. Bill Laimbeer, talented as he was, all you guys see Bill Laimbeer do is foul people. You didn't know he's one of the best rebounders in the game. He's a four-time all-star. And not only that, Bill Laimbeer was a knockdown jump shooter and could shoot threes. First stretch 5. He would do all the dirty work for you. He was essential. James Buddha Edwards. James Buddha Edwards just got caught doing coke, him and Bedford in Phoenix, Arizona, the cocaine boys of Arizona. Yeah, and they were almost out the league. They got cleaned up Phoenix and kicked everybody out. So we got Bedford and Buddha Edwards. And the big cocaine scandal of the Phoenix Suns. Name another Hall of Fame backcourt. You won't know. You won't see another one to Steph and Klay Thompson. That's it. Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars is a Hall of Fame backcourt. Both played for one team their entire career. You will never see that again in basketball, unfortunately. But name a drafted Hall of Fame backcourt. You won't get there. You have to go back to the Boston Celtics of the late 1950s and 60s. There isn't one. So that shows you how we are the best team in basketball history. They had to stop the Pistons from winning so that Jordan could win. They came up with the flagrant foul rule to help Michael Jordan win the championship. And they still wasn't good enough. That team that won in 91, we blitzed them by 20-something points. They won by default. Injuries had taken their toll. The team was beat up and wasn't the same no more. We reinvented basketball. Remember that. We were the first team with an NBA plane. We didn't even win a championship yet, but we had a plane. Everybody else was on the commercial. We had our own plane, Round Ball 1. We stayed at 5-star hotels before it was even popular. Now everybody's got a plane. Everybody's flying on, staying in 5-star hotels and treated like superstars. Our owner knew this is the future. We set the trend. We started though. Everybody now got another jersey, right? There's the street jerseys. How do you think the NBA came up with the street jerseys? We had our own jerseys. Bad Boys. We made our own brand outside of the NBA. Bad Boys, black and silver, had our own names. Everybody on the team had a name. We invented that. Everybody had a name. It wasn't just, oh, that's Magic Johnson. Nobody had any names. Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. Zeke. Rodman was the worm. Spider Sally. Buddha Edwards. We all had names. Look, we were stars. Y'all don't even understand. We changed this game. Even with sports media, we fought to get black media in there to represent us and write about basketball. Why don't we have black writers on the NBA beat? It's on the payroll. All these black people in the league.
We had a name. Bill Laimbeer was the sergeant of arms, the general. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what they'll say. But you got to look at it from a degree of excellence. Exactly. We didn't play the big dominant center game. It was won by the little man. It was the first time in NBA history a team won a championship without the big center being the piece. No dominant center. Then Michael Jordan and the Bulls won after us, and they didn't have a dominant center. So that became, we set the trend of where the guards were now getting the MVPs and the guards were controlling everything. It was a guard show now. No, they weren't dirty. They were, dude, if you watch any game in the 80s, they all played like us. They all were physical. Everybody fought in the league. You know how many fights? Go watch 80s fights. You see Marcus Lewis, whatever, knocking somebody out. Pop. The Detroit Pistons were just good. Rick Mahorn. Rick was on the team. We had an enforcer. And you would get knocked out. You came down there. But they just show you highlights of us hitting people all the time. I don't question why y'all sit there and say all the things y'all say. Because y'all don't see us in our glory. Y'all don't see us being the most dominant team. The first team with a 3-guard rotation. Microwave, Isaiah, and Joe Dumars. That 3-guard rotation will kill you. Vinnie Johnson was the microwave. That was the perfect name for him. He would come off the bench and light you up for a quick 15 before you even snap your fingers. This is what I'm talking about. This team was deep. 10 players deep. Everybody had a role. Everybody had an assignment. It's not that they couldn't score. Vinnie Johnson could probably average 25 points a night on another team. But on the Pistons, he needed to come off the bench. That is what was required. The dream team was all the Detroit Pistons. Let me tell you, we put this together. When Nelson Mandela came to the United States, the only person he came to see in the city of Detroit was where he landed. And who was there to meet him? Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. First trip to the United States of America. Us. We did that. The whole dream team was helped put together by us. Our general manager was one of the staff, was on the recruitment staff and everything. Jack McCloskey, our coach, Chuck Daly, coach of the game. Why? Because he just won 2 back-to-back NBA championships. Had the best team in basketball. Yes, Chuck Daly is the right coach for the game. Now, our assistant coaches, Brandon Shure, all of those guys are going with. Now, what happened? Let me tell you what happened. That's going to probably surprise a lot of people. They found out it was a conspiracy going on to keep Isaiah Thomas off this team, which everybody knew he was a shoo-in for the team. Once they learned that there is a conspiracy of Isaiah not being on the team, the general manager, Jack McCloskey, quit. He said, I'm off this panel. Jerry Colangelo, whatever, from the Suns and all the rest of y'all, I'm out, Jerry. I can't do this with y'all. I'm out. Whatever this is, I can't be a part of it. So he walks. They went and said, hey, this is what it is. We're going to go this route, and this is what it's going to be. They bought into it. They let it all go. That's right. He ain't won since Kyrie hit the shot for him. Ty Lue just said it. Bron was tired. Bron didn't have the energy. He got that block. That was the last thing he had left. He was sweat dripping down, and I'm like, look, let's just get the ball to Kyrie. And let's get a high pick and roll so they can get Steph on him. And he was like, I was thinking he could drive to the basket on Steph. But he pulled up for that shot, and I'm just like, oh. And bang, just like that, it was on. Mm-hmm. $57-0 leading after 3 quarters. Well, damn, you might want to keep leading out the 3 quarters then. What does that even mean? When we're leading out, we're 57-0 when we're leading out the 3 quarters. So come on, guys, let's lead out the 3 quarters on 3. 1, 2, 3, lead out the 3 quarters. See how they program y'all, man. Oh my God. It's like y'all got me this morning. Y'all really got me this morning. Nope, it's all a lie. Isaiah never froze him out of a game. Always a false narrative to try to make something into something it's not. So Larry Bird, everybody on that team, Moses Malone, everybody decided let's not give Michael Jordan the ball. Michael Jordan, if you go back and actually watch the game, you see there is no freeze out. The only thing that was happening was on the West. Iceman George Gervin and Magic Johnson, they didn't like Michael Jordan. They didn't like how he was coming in getting all this attention and ain't did anything as a rookie. So they felt slighted. They were the ones that were stopping Jordan from dunking. They were playing him different. Had nothing to do with the East and no Isaiah Thomas. But that's Chicago media. They created that. They're biased. Because the Bulls were, the Pistons were a good team and the Bulls were not. And we were standing in their way. So, of course, back then the media would create any lie and everybody would run with it. Like Michael Jordan's father, his gambling. The NBA was going to suspend Michael Jordan for gambling. So that's why he retired. That's the stupidest, dumbest I've ever heard. Again, media lies. Yes, MJ was different. He was a freak of nature. He could offensive athleticism. He was something else. He was hell to deal with. It took a team of 5 to stop that man from scoring. He was a scoring machine. But that doesn't make you a great player just because you can score the ball. Because what's going to happen is your other 4 players are going to be watching you. They're going to be sitting around watching you instead of helping you. But that's enough. We done went through every subject. We will return, though, and I will explain to you the new NBA rules changes and what they're looking into trying to change for next season and everything else, and how LeBron is on that committee and making that decision. All right. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Ticket TV, Dreamers Pro, Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez. Welcome to HDII TV, and I'm out.